purposefulness. What are you doing? What's on your mind? What is the quality of thoughts you're having? What is your purpose? Are you grown but involved in purposeless behavior? Are you dealing with people, going to places, and involved in things that you can't explain? You can't explain your reason why you do these things. Or maybe you're embarrassed by the reason, so you just keep it to yourself. If you're embarrassed, well, that already says whether or not you should be involved in these things. These things that you're into are probably of a lower station than your age. So you can't explain it to nobody, but you do it. Driven by your passions and your animals and whatever else. What is your purpose? The brainwash I choose in life tells me that grown people walk purposefully. Man works through reason. Grown man is not idle-minded. Or woman. We don't walk around with our mind in the clouds not thinking about nothing. Today's public brainwash says money, cash, hoes. Right? I'm like, why? Right? Say you get the money, the cash, and the hoes. Now what? What's the purpose of money, cash, hoes? All right, let's go in. Look, the money and the cash, right? They're the same thing. Right? We definitely need that to navigate through the material plane. But think about the maker of that statement. And I ain't trying to cause no beef. You know what I'm saying? I don't want beef with nobody. Just trying to make y'all think. Like my man Dan Calloway. Shout out. Peace, peace. What does he use his money for? Right? To buy more hoes, cars, clothes. Materialism. The why or purpose for that would be ego gratification. Right now, if we understand ego or set within man is that which services the lower aspects of man, right? Emotional and sensual gratification. How valid a reason for the accumulation of wealth is ego gratification. Purposeless behavior. I think I'm gonna get locks. Why? I like the way they look. Okay, you probably didn't know that back in the day, they understood that hair is associated with your spiritual development. And when you lock it up, you're locking in spiritual positives and negatives. So the purpose for locks back in the days was for priests and priestesses who had purified themselves. Right, so these people were locking in gifts and powers, etc., that they had gained through spiritual work, cultivated through a lifetime of living. And they were locking out those things that no longer served them, those levels of emotionalism that they could no longer use as someone who was more elevated. And all of this was to aid them in the development of their spirit, being a vessel of God's power for other people. But only after they were no longer a victim of their own conditionings. Now contrast that to where we are today, where 99% of folks that lock their hair get locks because they on the trend, or they think it looks nice, or, you know, basically they locking in negative conditionings. And they don't even know it. No purpose to our behavior. Back in the day, people worked with priests, diviners, understanding that each spirit comes to the plane to have a journey, has a purpose for coming here. There's a reason and a purpose for the lessons, challenges, classrooms, the family members they got, friends, frenemies, lovers, all come into our life with a specific purpose and reason for the connection. They're all to teach us something about ourselves. So life is about obeying the call to follow your destiny, or choosing not to, because we all, as a portion of the Creator, have a free will and a choice. Now, how we choose comes with the consequences of karma. Right? How we choose is dependent on our age, right? Our spiritual age, right? So not carrying out your purpose for coming carries a karmic debt. So keep that in mind while you're making your choice. Today we're so brainwashed on new religion that understanding this possibility doesn't even get a chance. So you travel through life without a clue of your destined path, your incarnation objective, the lesson paths, the classrooms that open the way to you achieving your destiny. Well, that's unless you're psychic or your ancestors is working with you, or eventually you just get it. Do you know your purpose? Do you even care? Life in 2022 has made the majority of us apathetic to these concerns. Some of y'all are saying, what this nigga talking about? Some of y'all mad at me for talking about this stuff. Destiny, he better worry about his damn self before trying to tell somebody about their destiny. But you know what? Y'all don't even know what my divination was. My pre-planned destined incarnation objective. I'm obedient. I'm a servant of Nebuchadnezzar, Lord of all, that created me from a little piece of himself. So I'm doing my thing. Right? But this ain't about me. Does your name have a meaning? Does your child's name have a meaning? Are you a dark chocolate man or woman with indigenous or African features and blood? With a name like Lamont or Jason or Elizabeth or Vanderpool? Hey, are you without a clue about your ancestry because it was never something you learned you should be concerned about? Are you someone who never thought it weird that you have a European name and you're not European? And you don't even know what that name means? Have you ever seen a Caucasian man who's not an initiate of some African religion with a name like Mustafa? This should be a moment for some of y'all. And I'm not trying to bring shame because we all came up through the same colonialism. So I'm empathetic about the situation. I'm speaking on it because somebody's supposed to. My purpose. Some of y'all cursing at the screen. Just turned to a new video. Told me to shut the hell up and call me Malcolm Farrakhan. But for some of y'all, this resonates. You feel what I'm saying because you were supposed to hear this. Probably haven't heard this sentiment before, amid the noises that come from the dumbed down boxes that we mess with in 2022. And I'm not the first person to ever talk about this. I came up on KRS-One, Chuck D. You know what I'm saying? You know, and all the rest of it. NWA, you know what I mean? Coogee Rap, you know what I'm saying? I came up on all of that. Some of them guys drove me right into Khalid. You know what I'm saying? Farrakhan, right? Dr. Ben, Shechem, right? We all come here to learn. Not all of us are ascended masters on the return that have knowledge already. Find you some teachers and be a student. Find a diviner and learn why you came to the planet. And walk in your purpose.